Hi there, this is Jerome from ProSite Tutorials. Welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show to you how you can do a professional looking logo for your website. And when it comes to this, we are going to use Photoshop. And basically this is the software that I use for every single images that I create for my websites. And firstly, Photoshop is not a free option. However, if you actually go to their website, which is photoshop.com, you can see the URL over here. You can download a free trial which you can use for 30 days. So during a whole month you can test this software and see if you actually like it or not. For you to do that, you simply go to their website, and over here below you can see free trial, and you just need to click on it. Now you just fill the required information so you can get your free trial for 30 days. And actually I recommend for you to do this first, for you to get the software before you continue watching the rest of the video, because if you have the software at hand, it will be far easier for you to understand exactly what I explained. Okay, so the logo that we are going to create is something similar to the one that I actually did for ProSiteTutorials.org. I'm actually going to teach you how to add this nice looking shade to the letters of your logo. Anyway, don't worry if you want to do something that looks more simple. By seeing this video, if you know how to do this one, you can also do one that looks far simpler. So I'm going to explain everything. Also, the other thing that is really important when it comes to a logo is really the font that you choose. It's really what makes a logo look professional or not. So for you to get a font, you simply go to Google or to another search engine that you might use, and you just write free fonts. And as you can see, a listing of websites appear. Actually, the one that I've used for ProSite Tutorials, I think it was this first website. I'm just going to click on it. As you can see over here, you really have plenty of fonts that you can choose for a logo. Anyway, I recommend for you to spend some time looking for a font that at the same time is really simple for people to read. You don't want to use a font that is way too complex, something like this, you murder or something like that. You probably don't want to use this for a logo because it doesn't really look professional, and it's quite hard for people to understand exactly what is actually wrote over here. So you want to try and find a really simple logo. Actually, I already selected mine, but I'm going to show to you the process of how you can actually download a font. So let's check another page, and I'm going to select something that is simple, like this one. Okay, so now I'm just going to press download so I can download this file to my computer, to a specific file that I have on my computer. And as you can see, it just takes a matter of a few seconds so you can download it. Now I just go to that file, and you can see that now I have a new file appearing, which is a zip file. So you actually need a zipping software for this. So I'm just going to click over here and just press extract here. And as you can see, several font files appears. Actually, over here I have 4 files, as you can see. But the one that I want to use is this one, the first one, which is Marlboro, because I really like it. And actually, if you want to use this font for your logo, you can simply go to the website that you saw previously and you can search for Marlboro. So now you want to go to the start from your Windows and just search for fonts. And you can see that this file appears, and this is the file where you need to actually install your new font. So you simply need to drag this file over here and just leave it. Just like this. Actually, I already have it installed, that's why that message appeared, but that's how you can actually use a new font. And always make sure that Photoshop is not opened, because if it's open while you do this, it will not appear on the listing. You just need to reopen it, and then you will see the new font appearing there. So I'm just going to close this, and now I'm going to open Photoshop so I can start working with it. Okay, this is Photoshop. I'm not sure when you actually install Photoshop the kind of windows that will appear, but in this case I just have two windows. I have the layers windows and also the toolbox where I can find the several options to edit the images that I have. So if you don't have one of these windows, you simply go to Window, this section over here, and you just select them. In this case it's layers. As you can see, I already have selected, but if I click it once more it disappears, and same thing to reappear. You just click on it. Okay, so once you have everything adjusted, the first thing that you want to do is simply go to File and create a new layer. This window pops out, and over here you need to add the sizes that you want to work with. In this case I'm going to use 300 pixels by 100 pixels. This is actually a good size, but if you want to decrease it, you just need to change the value over here for 100, 200, and the same thing below. And then you just need to press OK, and you can see that a new layer appears where I can start working with it. Okay, when it comes to Photoshop, one of the things that you need to understand is that it works with layers. This is the first layer, which is the background. As you can see at the moment, it's locked. This means I cannot work with it, so I must unlock it. And I simply double click on it. This window appears, and I just press OK to unlock it. What I mean about layers is I'm actually going to create a new layer so you can see more exactly. So by clicking on this icon over here below, create a new layer, it actually creates a new layer. This layer is on top of my background. I'm going to add over here something, let's say a rectangle. And as you can see, you have over here several options. I'm going to explain the ones that I usually use. This is one that I commonly use. This allows me to select a section on over here on my layer, the one that I already have. But you can also use an ellipse, and also you have a row, a single column, but these are the two ones that I usually use. So make sure that you are choosing the correct layer that you want to work with. In this case, I don't want to use the background, I want to use the first one. So I just need to click over here to select it so I can start working with that one. So I'm just going to select the area that I want to use, just like this. And now I'm going to add some color to it. For me to be able to do that, you can see that below you have two squares that allows you to change the color that you want to use. The first one, I'm actually going to choose a different one because currently it's white. You just need to click on it. And as you can see over here, you have the options to change the color that you want to use. So I'm going to use, let's say, blue, just like this. As you can see, now it changed the square that appears over here. Now it's blue. You can also choose a secondary color the same way by clicking on it. Basically, you can do the same thing. Let's say green. And now I want to fill this section over here on the middle with a specific color. For me to do that, I just select the bucket and I just click on it. And as you can see, since the first color is blue, this is the color that it will paint this section with. But if I wanted green, I just needed to click on this small arrow. And you can see that it switched the color that was behind to first. And now I just need to do the same thing, click on my image while I have the bucket selected. Make sure that you have this option selected. And as you can see, it changes the color over here. I'm going to do another layer just by clicking over here. And in this case, I'm going to make it blue. So I'm just going to do that. Click on this small arrow and just paint blue. The thing that I mean about layers is this first layer, which I'm currently selecting, that has the blue rectangle, is on top of the layer that has the green rectangle. But if I wanted to actually change the layers, let's say that I wanted to make this blue rectangle appearing below the other one, I just need to drag this layer below. As you can see now, it's on the bottom of the other one. And same thing happens with the background. If I actually change this one to the first one, everything would disappear because this layer is first and it's completely white. And basically this is how many times you do images that look really impressive on Photoshop, is really playing around with layers and start building a really impressive image this way. We also have other options. You can also use these options that appear below to make a rectangle if you want. So I'm just going to create a new layer. Actually, I don't need for this one. As you can see, this allows me to create a rectangle, a circle, so with a rectangle with rounded corners. Also, I can do a circle this way. As you can see, it starts creating several layers. I can also use the brush, which is this small brush tool, and I can start, if I actually create a new layer over here on the top, I can also use this option to actually paint stuff. The moment you cannot see it well because it's selecting. I have to deselect, you just click on this small icon to deselect whatever you can see over there. So I'm going to select the small brush once again, and as you can see, this allows me to paint a section with the brush. Or you can also use the pencil, and you can also change the opacity that appears using this option over here on the top section, and change the color to black, just like this. Also change the size of the pencil by clicking on this option that appears on the side. You also have the rubber to basically remove whatever you want on a specific layer. So always make sure that you are actually choosing the layer that you want to work with, or else it won't have the effect that you want. So basically those are the several options that you have. And once again, this also, you can choose the different opacity over here. So I'm just going to delete these layers so we can start working with the logo. So I just wanted to give you just a brief demonstration of the several options that you have on Photoshop so you could get a better idea. Anyway, you really need to spend some time over here just checking around what you can do with the several options over here. Anyway, for you to actually start a logo, the first thing that you want to do, the first thing that you want to do for any image that you create is to add some guidelines. You just go to the view section, press on new guide. In this case it's vertical, and I'm going to put 50%, just as you can see. This allows me later on to just center everything really nicely. And I'm going to do the same thing horizontal. Once again, new guide, just check this, the first option, 50%, actually 50%, just like this. As you can see, now I have the center, and this allows me to later on align everything to the center so it can look really nice. Actually, you can increase the window just by selecting the corners, as you can see, and just by using the left side of your mouse. Sometimes you may want to do this, drag the window around so you can center stuff, so you can better work with your layer. Also, you can zoom in just by selecting this small icon, and as you can see now, I just need to click and it zooms in so I can see things more easily. Same thing for you to zoom out. You select this icon, you just click on the over here on the layer with your right mouse button, and you can see this small little window appears, and you just press zoom out. In this case, I'm just going to keep it zoom in. Okay, so for you to start a logo, you simply want to add some piece of text. So you go to this small T that appears, you click on it. The first thing that you want to do is simply choose over here on the list the font that you want to use. In this case, I already have the one that I want to use, which is Marlboro. So I'm just going to keep it. Now I'm going to write something over here just by clicking on my letter. And as you can see, a new layer is immediately created, and I'm just going to write ProSite Tutorials, just like that. And now I'm just going to drag this around so I can put it on the center by clicking over here, Move Tool. As you can see, make always sure that you're selecting the right layer. As you can see, small little squares appear over here on the middle and also on the sides. And this allows me to center my font, just like this. And actually you cannot see it, but I'm using the little arrows on my keyboard so I can center this till I have it really in the center, just like this. Okay, actually I'm going to increase the font, and it's pretty simple. You go once again to the small t, select it, and you click on this piece of text, and you click it twice so you can select everything. You can go over here to the top side. You can see that at the moment it is 48, but I'm going to make it 50. And now once again you need to actually move things around so you can center it, because as you can see now it's not centered. So I just do that. Okay, so now I have my ProSite Tutorials, the brand name for my website. Now I'm just going to add a subtitle, a brief description of what my website is all about. So once again I'm going to select the small t, and I'm going to click on my layer, and as you can see it creates a new layer where I'm going to add a subtitle. Okay, as you can see at the moment it's way too big, so I'm going to actually select everything just like this, and I'm going to reduce the size over here. Let's try 24. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm just going to center this. Actually, I'm going to push it a bit to the top, just like this. And now I'm going to actually add a small line separating my brand from my subtitle. So I'm just going to click on this small icon. Just going to do a really thin line, and I'm using my mouse width for this. So I'm always keeping my finger on the left side of my mouse, and I'm just dragging until I have exactly what I want. Okay, actually I need to create a new layer, so I just go over here because I want to use a new layer for this separator. I don't want to use the test one. And now I just go to the bucket, and I already have black selected, but I could change the color as I showed to you previously. I'm just going to use black. I'm going to click on the section over here on the center. As you can see, now I have a small separator. I just need to align it. And now I go to this small little tool, and I just double click on my layer. As you can see, the selection disappears. Now I'm just going to move this so I can center it, just like this. Okay, it's centered, and there you go. And this is how you would basically create a very simple logo for your website, just using the few options that I showed to you. You could also add a small image, just like I did over here on ProSite Tutorials, which I'm going to show to you. I had this little play button. This is something that you can create easily on WordPress, or you can even Google it and find the image that you may want to use for your logo. But basically that's how you can really do a very basic logo for your website, just using the options that I showed to you. Okay, so if you want to just do a simple logo, this is the way. But if you want to add a nice looking shade, as I had it to my ProSiteTutorials.org logo, you simply need to, in this case, select ProSite Tutorials. I'm going to select ProSite Tutorials, and I'm going to make this white. I'm going to select everything. Actually, you can choose this small square to change the color of your font. this case I'm going to make it white, or you can go to this section that appears on the top and also change the color for your font. In this case I'm going to add a lightning effect to this, so I'm going to keep it white. So now you cannot see it, but the text is still there. And now I actually need to make this test layer into a normal layer. So I simply go to the section that says layer, and over here I select rasterize and I make it a layer. You really need to do this so you can apply a filter to your test. So once that is done, I simply go to filter, and as you can see, over here I have several different filters. You can add blur to your letters, you can pretty much do a lot of things, but the one that I want is a lightning effect, so I'm just going to select it. As you can see, a small little lightning effect appears. Actually, you can increase the lightning effect just by selecting these small circles that appear on the side. I'm going to increase a bit. You can also decrease over here. As you can see, on the middle you can actually select the intensity of the lightning. As you can see, if I actually drag this to the top, the intensity totally disappears. You can also use the options on the side for the same effect. As you can see, and pretty much change things around till you have exactly what you want. But in this case it's red, but I want to change the color for my lightning, so I go to colors and I select blue, so I can get something that looks a bit more similar to what I have on my website. Something like this. It's not exactly the same, but I guess you get the idea. Also, you have over here several options that you may want to change around and just see what they actually do. They actually change the lightning effect a bit. Okay, once you have whatever you want over here, you just need to press OK. There you go. Now you have a small little shade on the fonts, which really looks great. The other thing that I actually applied, as you can see on Prusa tutorials, I actually had a lining around my letters. For you actually to do that, because this way people can read it more easily, you go and you select once again the letter that you want to work with. In this case it's Prusa tutorials, and you go over here and you double click on your layer, and as you can see, layer style window pops out. Anyway, don't click on the middle, because this way the only thing that you will be able to do with this is to actually change the text for this layer, the name for this layer. So you want to click on the side. Over here you actually have several styles that you can add, but the one that I want is this one that is called Outer Glow. Okay, on Outer Glow, let's just push this to the side so you can see more easily the changes. In blend mode, which is the first option, you want to select normal. On opacity, I'm going to select maximum. So I'm just going to drag this arrow until I have the maximum value of 100. Over here, this allows you to change the color of the outer glow. You can actually add yellow, and as you can see, this pops out. But the color that I want is a really dark gray for my lining. As you can see, now I have, well, I would say this is more like a shadow around my letters, but I want to make it a lining. So over here on spread, I'm going to change this a bit and just increase it. As you can see, the lining now appears a bit more opaque. And now below, I'm going to reduce the size a bit to 2 pixels. Let's try 1 pixel and see how it looks like. Actually, just increase the spread, decrease the spread a bit. Actually, 45. Basically, you just need to play around until you get exactly what you want. Let's say 40, 50, and I think this was the first option that I selected was the one that appeared the better option. Okay, so once you have exactly what you want, actually I'm going to decrease this a bit to 90. Okay, so once you have what you want, you just need to press OK. As you can see, at the moment it's way too zoom in, but I'm just going to zoom out so you can see more exactly how it looks like. I'm going to actually remove this guidelines because I no longer need it. And always make sure that everything is aligned. Actually, I didn't. Actually, I think everything is aligned. Yes, I have everything aligned. So I'm just going to remove this guidelines, and there you go. That's how you can do a logo similar to the one that I did for prositetutorials.org. And also, by now you know how you can do a more simple one, because it's basically the same process. And now you simply want to save it. So you go to File, and you Save As, and you want to save it to a location on your computer, and you don't want to save it as the Photoshop file. You can actually choose JPEG, but the file that I commonly use for logos is PNG, because this allows me to have a transparent background. Actually, for me to have a transparent background, I just need to delete my background, just like this, and save it as a PNG. I'm going to save with the name that I want, prositetutorials, and just press save, and just leave this options, and there you go. Okay, so once you have this logo saved to your computer, the thing that you want to do is simply go to your website. If you are using WordPress, it really depends on the theme that you are using, but many times you will find an option to actually upload this logo to your website, and there you go. You have a really impressive logo that looks really professional on your website using this technique. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. If you have any question, leave it on the section below. I will try to reply as soon as possible. Don't forget to stay tuned with prositetutorials, and bye!